Okay. Um, so Robin, today let's understand Salesforce data security.
Okay.
Okay. So Salesforce data security means um, so when we talk about Salesforce security model, how users can access system, right? Login access, and how we can provide control data access also. Because the reason why we have to control data access, suppose if you talk about any sales organization, right?
Okay.
Let's talk about sales organization. Sales organization is like, suppose if you take different regions, okay? So one is
Okay.
in Seattle and another one is London, okay?
Okay.
So normally the business process is whatever the business that has been done in Seattle, maybe London people doesn't want to, should not see that, okay?
Okay.
uh, uh, because if suppose in case if we are it's open, so I think that is the data is open for everyone, okay?
Okay.
So if everyone can see the data, so what happens, everyone knows how company is doing, right?
Okay.
The inside information. So I can, and in future they can do insider trading. Not only
Okay.
that, they can give the data to competitors, lot of things. So data is always secure. So
Okay.
only the data should be given to the people who, uh, whatever the data that is needed for that particular person to do the business, that data we have to provide. Okay, not
Okay.
the rest of the data.
Okay.
So that is the reason why. Suppose in case if you take a so another one which we talk about is a HR organization. So you are
Okay.
talking about HR organization. Okay, it is we have people employees, right? We have a director. Under the director we have managers. Under the manager we have few people working reporting to that manager.
Okay.
So um, so if we have a different managers, okay, so
Okay.
that particular manager should know the salaries of the employees whom the people or whoever is reporting to him, right? He should not be knowing the salary of a person reporting to the other person, right?
Okay.
Likewise, like if you and me are there, if you are reporting to the same manager or different manager, we should not know each other's salary, right?
Yeah.
That is a sensitive data. Same thing,
Okay.
okay? So likewise, uh, so whenever we talk about same thing happens with the sales organization also, okay? I
Okay.
don't want to do the other person's this one. So how we organize, sometimes we may have to open up the data, okay, for teams, different people, okay, who are working under the same team,
Okay.
okay. So this is called a role, okay. So there is a role based one, how we can control data visibility, okay.
Okay.
So if you are, suppose if you are a sales representative, and then you can see only the data that is related to your sales representative data. If you are a sales manager, then you should be able to see the data of all these three sales representatives,
Yes.
okay. If you are a president, you should be able to see all the data of sales managers and all of these individuals. So this is called the role lets you, gives the visibility of data, what data that can be seen by a user.
Okay.
So uh, but one thing, so this is about role hierarchy. We say whenever we talk about the role hierarchy controls the data visibility. But the
Okay.
interesting concept is I really don't want to give, okay, access at all, right? Suppose say for example sales organization is there, okay,
Okay.
and then there is a service cloud organization is there. I don't want to give sales data to service cloud at all, okay. So then
Okay.
then I don't then that is the time we are going to use profiles, okay. And then the profile is going to control the access itself.
Okay.
So I'm going to restrict. So see, suppose we have a, for the sales we have a sales objects, right? For service we got service objects. When we talk about
Okay.
sales object, we are talking about accounts, we are talking about opportunities, we are talking about forecast, okay. All this data comes under the sales organization.
Sales.
When we talk
Okay.
about the service cloud, we are talking about case, we are talking about contact. Okay, we are talking about knowledge base. Okay, see, the service cloud data sales organization may not be interested. Not everyone is interested. Okay, like similar way, service cloud is not interested in all the sales data. So, and also there is a security is there. So this is controlled by a profile. Okay, this is where we talk about profiles. Okay, so next one is we are talking about the permission sets. Okay, permission sets means so we will talk. Let's go and see things. Okay, that way we'll get more understanding on this one. Hmm. Okay, so now I go and type in profiles. Okay, now if I go to profiles, these are all the profiles we are talking about. Okay, so Salesforce provides certain profiles. These are called standard profiles. Okay, and then
Okay.
we are going to copy them. Normally, how we are going to create profiles for our specifically for our organization is we take a Salesforce standard profile or the profile that which is close to okay what we want. Then we are going to clone that profile and recreate our profiles. So Salesforce
Okay.
provides one standard profile in order to do that. Okay, so there is a profile name standard profile is there. So this is standard user profiles are there, standard user. So this is what we Salesforce provides. You can see there is a you can see that lock icon. Okay, small lock,
Yes.
because you can't really edit that, but you can clone that profile and you can recreate that profile. Similarly, you have a this system administrator profile. System administrator profile is going to have access to entire system. Okay, they can
Okay.
do whatever they want. So that's why we have to make sure whenever we are giving system administrator profile, we have to be very careful, because system administrator profile can see all the data across all the applications. So that's why we don't give system administrator profile to everyone or to many people. I mean, only for very few people we will give system administrator access. Okay, coming back to standard profile, standard user. So I'm going to take standard user and click on that, and then you can clone it. Okay, you can clone this profile. You can
Okay.
click on clone, and you can give it
Okay.
Salesforce standard, or you can call it as Salesforce service profile. Okay, and then click save. Okay, here now you go. Now we'll start editing this profile. Okay, so here,
Okay.
see here you can see what are the applications you are going to give access to. Okay, remember we created. So this is a one. So application means when I said like these are the applications like call center, all this.
Yes. Yes. I
Okay,
know.
so where, to which application I am going to provide the access to. So this is the one which talks about application access.
Okay.
Okay, and then so if connected apps, so if you want to give any like Salesforce for Outlook, so there are certain connectors. Okay, so where you can give access to like Salesforce for Outlook, and then we use force.com IDE. Suppose if users want to connect to through force.com IDE for their development work, and then Workbench. So we will talk about Workbench. Okay, so Workbench is a tool where you can use our SQL queries to execute our SQL towards the Salesforce database. Okay, so that is
Okay.
what the workbench is. So these are all database bulk uploader and ant migration tool. So whenever we want to migrate our data from sandbox to production, so then that we are going to use the ant migration tool. So that is the one we are talking about. Okay, and then we're talking about the tab settings. So tab settings, what I can do by default, I see by default I'm showing you all that here, right? You can turn it off. Okay, tab hidden. So you can say tab off or you can say tab hidden. Okay, so likewise you can use the custom tag settings. These are the standard one, standard settings. So whenever we talk about the standard objects, right, these are the ones, the standard objects you can see here, like contacts, you can see assets, okay, accounts, and these are all the standard objects. And these are the custom tab settings. These are the one we're talking about, the custom tabs. Okay,
Okay.
so whenever we yesterday we were creating a tab, right? Whenever that, these are the tabs what we create, that are created for the custom tabs. Okay, and then these are the administrative settings. So these are the general user licenses. We don't have to. This, let's come here. This is the interesting place where we have to look through. So these are the objects. Okay, so these are the exactly, these are the one which we saw earlier were standard tabs, but these we are talking about the standard object. Okay, so standard objects, like we have Salesforce standard objects and we have custom objects. Okay, so here now this is what we are talking about: read, and then create, edit, delete access. Okay,
Okay.
so I am going to see, I can click on, I can remove read access. Okay, I can remove read access to this. I can remove all of the read access, documents access. I can do contact line items. So I just give only access to cases. If I want to give, allow this particular profile, okay, to delete any particular case, then I have to give the delete access.
Okay.
Okay.
Uncle, we have like multiple accounts, right? Like it's basic as some left, right, down and up. So what are these?
Uh, Sorry, your voice is not clear. Can you repeat that?
I can see many tabs here in standard object permissions. Are they different for different users or different accounts?
Uh, um, so, so this is one. This is for specifically for this profile. Okay, how we are going to assign this profile to a user, I will show you.
Okay.
Okay. So first thing is we are going to create a profile. We take that profile and we assign that profile to the user. Okay,
Okay.
that's a good question. Okay, what we do first, the first thing is we are creating a profile. Okay, and then we will give like as if we are locking things, and then we are going to take that keys and we are going to give that keys to a particular person later,
Okay.
right? So it's like a profile is like a thing that we have a building and we have different rooms, and we have different rooms got different locks. Okay, and we locked everything, and now we are going to take keys and we are going to give it to the people whoever he wants it. Like, if he
Okay.
is a owner, we give a master key. If he is like a some servant or something, we will give keys only for the servant quarters. Similarly, like this profile is like a building, so now we are restricting everything. Okay, so now we
Okay.
are restricting everything, and when then later on we take this profile and assign that to the particular user.
Okay.
Okay, so this is about the standard objects. Okay, this is how we are going to give access to a standard object. These are the custom objects. Whenever you create a custom object, you are coming here. Okay, and then you are giving access to all that, whatever the custom objects here. And so
Okay.
this, then we have certain password policies. Okay, they have session settings. Okay, you can tell, like, if there is any inactivity, like, I can say, like, 30 minutes of inactivity. Okay, if suppose, if the system, I mean, if it's idle for like 30 minutes, then you log him out. Okay, then we
Okay.
will kick him out. So similarly, like, you can specify like 15 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, it depends. Okay,
Okay.
and then we have password expire policy. So you can specify, like, I want to expire user's password for every 90 days. Okay, This
Okay.
is variant. And three passwords to remember. So suppose in case if user is trying to use his old password, okay. So
Okay.
like three old passwords he can use. Okay, you can like that. I can specify n number. I can say 24 old passwords to remember like that. Okay,
Okay.
okay. And then I come to minimum password length. Okay, that this is all the
Yeah.
password policy. What password policies you really want to set. Okay, so
Okay.
this is one.
Okay.
Once you create this profile, okay. Now I created this profile. Now I go to I go to user. Okay, I go to user. So I go to user profile, or you can go to another thing. You can go to setup. Okay, and then click on manage users. So let me click on this users only. So you have to have manage users and click on this users. Now you see the list of users here, right? Okay,
Yes.
I am a system administrator. Okay, I have one more user. So now I can click on this and I can edit this user. Okay, and I can change this. Here is the one I am going to see Service Cloud Salesforce service profile. This is what
Okay.
I created. So I assign this profile to that. I am going to assign that profile to that user. Okay, to this
Okay.
specific user.
Now it is the solution manager.
Mm,
Profile. Profile.
yeah. So this is where we are handing over those keys to that particular user.
Okay.
Okay. Now, so this is about a permission set. Sorry,
Okay.
profile. Okay. Now let me tell you something about organization-wide defaults. Okay. So
Okay.
this is called organization-wide default chart. Okay. So this is what you have to. This is about data visibility. Okay, that's what we are talking about. Data visibility. So
Okay.
data visibility is like what users can see. Okay, who can see what.
Okay.
Okay, see there is a who can access what is different and who can see what is different.
Okay.
Okay, so it is like a simple way to put in. Suppose if you have any cable network is there, right? If you have a
Okay.
cable network and you go there are maybe like 200 or 1000 channels are there. Okay,
Okay.
uh, getting that your profile allowed you to have that cable. Okay, now you can operate your TV and there are certain channels, but only it allows you to see certain channels and it won't allow you to see certain channels which
Okay.
you did not pay, right?
Okay.
So, profile is like it's an access to the system. You got the cable box. Okay, that is the profile. Now it allows whatever you based on your subscription. Okay, it allows you to see the channels. Okay, what channels you can see. Like
Okay.
same way, it allows you this data visibility we are talking about. It allows you to see what you can see. Okay, you
Okay.
understood the difference between these two, right? Profiles,
Yes. Yes.
okay, and the data visibility. These are very important things. Okay, people, whenever you were working, you have to understand like how these things are working because you can't give access to everyone. Okay, there is a
Yes.
security part. We should be very careful on the security side. Okay, it's an enterprise
Okay.
application.
Yeah.
So let's talk about organization-wide defaults. Okay, first let's understand how we can control the organization-wide. Okay, now I'm going to give. Now let's go to sharing. So security controls. Okay, now I'm going to see here. You can see organization-wide defaults. Okay, now
Okay.
I'm going to click on edit. Okay, see here is the interesting thing. So now I have private, public read only, public read write, public read write and transfer. Okay,
Okay.
so let's take one specific object. Okay, let's talk about lead only. Okay, let's talk about lead object. Okay,
Okay.
think that if you have a cable TV, right? Now you have you have a channels, there will be like 100 channels. Out of these 100 channels, 10 channels are public for everyone. Okay, anyone can watch. Okay, those channels. So then you will say that this is a public read, write, and transfer. Okay, anyone can see. Whoever is having that access, that cable profile, they can see the everything. So that is the one thing. Then we have a uh, now we have a private one. Okay, this one is like, if you really purchase something, then only you get an access. So this is a, when you say private, only you can see that record. So remember
Okay.
when we talked about record owner, every record got a owner, right? When we specific that, okay, every
Yes.
record has a owner, right? When whoever is creates that record is going to be the owner for that record, right?
Okay.
So only that, whenever you mark private, okay, only you can see that record. Okay, suppose if we are having same profile. Okay, say I'm having a profile A, and you are also having profile A, but I mark the lead object as private. Okay, then
Okay.
whatever record you create, you are going to see. Whatever record I am going to create, I am going to see. Okay, I'm not going to see your record, but you can't see my record. Okay,
Okay.
so that is what private means. Okay, public read only. Okay, public read only means you can see my record, I can see your record, but only thing is I can't edit your record. Okay, you can't edit my record, but I can edit my record and you can edit your record. You got that?
Okay.
So first one is private, next one is public read only. Okay, next one is public read write. Okay, public read write means, okay, you can see and you can write anyone's record. Okay, you can see my record and I can see your record, and you can edit my record, I can edit your record. Okay, what is the public read, write, and transfer? Now I can transfer the ownership also. Okay, now earlier you are the owner because you created the record, but now I can change your ownership from you to me. Okay, I can
Okay.
change my ownership. So this is what we call it as uh, organization wide defaults. Okay, so you can
Okay.
see some of these, like if you go and see, let's talk about the contact. Okay, what is meant by contact? Controlled by parent. There is another option, controlled by parent is there.
Okay.
Suppose controlled by parent means, see, whenever we talk about account, okay, account, whenever we say account is a private, okay, then opportunity, you see, did you see this? I changed the account to private, and automatically opportunity and case became private.
So, yeah.
Okay, the reason it became private is account drives a case and opportunity visibility.
Okay.
Okay, okay, so you should not change account visibility at all. Okay, if you change
Okay.
account visibility, okay, so normally in many companies, okay, 90% of the companies, the account is going to be private. Okay,
Okay.
so uh, say if I change, let me do that again. So now I change it to public read write, I change opportunity to public read write, I change the case to public read write. Okay,
Okay.
now I'm going to change account to private. So you can see it automatically changes case and
On
opportunity
opportunity.
to opportunity to
Private.
private. It also, it's a this also going to change it to private. So controlled by parent means, okay, you have whatever the parent says. Okay, whatever the contact parent says, it's going to control based on that parent. Okay, the visibility. Okay, if parent is visible, then contact is also visible. So this is about organization wide defaults. Okay, let's see
Okay.
what exactly opens up. So now this is the one, I have the, see, this is how we are opening up the data to everyone. Okay, now organization wide defaults. Next one, who can control this? Suppose if I want to open up the data, right? Now it is going to be a role hierarchy. Role hierarchy. Then when we discussed about the role hierarchy, I said like, employees data can be seen by their manager, and their manager's data can be seen by the directors, and the director can see data can be seen by the group directors and down. So so that's why if you go and say roles, okay, click on roles, this is what you're going to see the hierarchy. Okay, so you see this, like CEO is at the top role, and you can see AE manager and support AE. Okay,
Yeah.
and CFO, and the CFO goes, CFO got sales strategy manager. So what this means is, okay, now take, like, take this interesting piece of, um, here. So you can see Western sales team is there, right, and Eastern
Okay.
sales team is there. Both of their data can be visible to director, director sales. Okay, and then
Okay.
channel sales team is there. Channel sales team is visible to director channels of sales. Director channels of sales and director channels of this can be seen by the VP of North America sales. Okay,
Okay.
so there are different divisions. Okay, each division data can be seen by the division in charge, right?
Okay.
So you understood that now. So
Yes, sir. Okay.
so we are talking about the next one is role hierarchy. So what the role hierarchy did is, okay, it opened up the data from private to that particular user. You're not doing anything. Okay, you're not doing anything at all. It's by default Salesforce provided functionality. Okay, role
Okay.
hierarchy, it gives that visibility. Next one is sharing rules. Okay, we have a sharing rules are there. Let's see what the sharing rules are. Okay, so we talked about organization wide defaults. Now we go down. Now I'm going to have a sharing rules here. Okay, I can specify the sharing rules, what data I can show and what data I don't want to show. Okay, so here I can specify. You can see there, I can see like both custom objects, standard objects. I can see all of that. Okay, now I can go and say, let me go to case object. Okay, so let me find case sharing rules. Now I'm going to create new. Okay, I'm going to say that share it with everyone. Okay, so you can say there is a there are two types of sharing. One is based on record owner. So if you are, suppose if you are the owner of a record, I can specify based on a record owner to whom I want to share, or criteria based sharing. So suppose in case if I want to show, okay, so think that like, a person has left a company. Okay, so like, VP of that company has left or something like that, or maybe now I want to give access. So one, we have two. Sorry, let's take this example. So we have in North America we have, and we have a different state heads are there. Like, we have a Pennsylvania, and then we have a New York. Okay, so
Yeah.
New York sales manager has left. Now I want to assign all New York sales manager data to Pennsylvania sales manager, because for a temporary purpose. Then I will give criteria, based on criteria I am going to share. I am going to specify that particular region. Okay, I will say what region that belongs to, and then I will give you that Pennsylvania or whatever I want to provide access to, and then I will share.
Okay.
Then it gives access of that particular sales data of New York to Pennsylvania manager. So that's how you can share the data across the members. Okay, so you can specify, either you can give read access or read write access. Okay, see, you can see that the another interesting part is you can give based on public groups. You can create I will tell you, how you can create groups. You can create public groups and you can give access to public groups, or based on roles you can give. Okay, if he's, based on certain role. Okay, so if he is a,
Okay.
like, as you said, like, VP of North America sales. See, I can give access to VP of North America sales, like that. So based on roles I can give, and then you can provide on roles and internal subroutine, subordinates, like that. So this is called criteria based, or you can give based on record owner. No, it doesn't matter any criteria. I will just assign, I will give access to certain users. Or you can, when we will talk about queues, okay, so we can give access to queues also. Okay, so
Okay.
this is how we are going to share the this is what we are talking about, the sharing rules. Okay, we can share rules. We can create a criteria based, or we can based on record owner, and we can give access to public groups, or we can give access to roles, role hierarchy, like that. So this is all called the sharing rules. And then next one
Okay.
is manual sharing. Okay, manual sharing is like whenever you go to case, okay, you can, there is, you can see a share button where you can click on the share link, sharing. So you can click on sharing. Okay, here I can add, and I can say to whom I want to give access to. Okay, I can select
Okay.
particular user, and I can say, okay, give access to give this record access, only this record access to particular
Okay.
person, user. So that is a manual sharing, right? You got organization by defaults. Then you open up with the, by default our role hierarchy gives access. Now your configuration starts. The sharing rules is a configuration, how you are going to give based on criteria, or based on the record owner. And the manual sharing is for only the, for that specific only for that
Awesome.
specific record. Okay,
Okay.
so this is about data visibility. Okay, so now you understood
Okay.
the OWD. OWD means organization wide defaults, and role
Okay.
hierarchy. You know, role hierarchy means what we talked about, and then
Okay.
criteria based on manual sharing, how the sharing works. Okay,
Okay.
now let's come back to organization wide default access. So let's talk about this one also, security, another security aspect. So I say company information. Let's see if I have. So this is where you come and see whenever you want to see company information. Okay, this is the place you can come and see what are the. So we have one more security access. We'll talk about the license one. Okay, and
Okay.
then now let's go to profiles. Let me go to profile again. Second, sorry. Um, so here, if you go and click on login IP ranges, right? You can see this login IP ranges. So here I can
Okay.
specify new, and I can give what IP access, IPs are allowed. Okay, I can
Okay.
specify like IP access. So from certain time to, sorry, certain this one to. Um, so we can provide access like that. Okay,
Okay.
and also we have. This is a default new business hours. You can provide the business hours if you want to. Okay, here. So that is another one. Okay, IP ranges is one security access which we are talking about. Like, we can provide an access based on the IPs also. Okay, so that
Okay.
way we can restrict. If you want to only work with certain people, right now, if you have a company and then you have a company IP address, and only when people are working in that company, okay, they can access this system. Otherwise, we can
Okay.
restrict them. So that is another security measure we are talking about. Okay.
Okay.
Now, so let's talk about user licenses. Okay. So user licenses. So we're talking about like let's go to profiles. So yeah, I go and click. I go and let me go and click on standard profile. Okay. And I go in standard profile, standard user. Now, sorry, let's go to user record. Sorry, let me go to user, manage and users, and then click on any of these user. Okay, here you go and click on edit. So now you are going to see this license. You may not be able to change now. Okay, but for certain users, let me pick some other one. Not user fields, users. This one. See now here, let me go to and click this one. I think I should be able to change for this one. So we have Salesforce license. We have Salesforce platform license and Force.com free license. Okay,
Okay.
this one. Let me explain you a little bit about this one. Okay, Salesforce license means, okay, we have we have a couple of licenses with Salesforce. Let's say they provide Salesforce license. They provide Salesforce platform license. They provide Force.com license. They also provide um, chatter free license. Okay, so
Okay.
these are the licenses they have. So each license model talks about something. Okay, Salesforce platform. So Salesforce license means, suppose if you want to do any customizations, okay, then you need to have Salesforce license. Okay,
Okay.
so that's where the Salesforce license comes in. Now let's talk about Salesforce platform license. Okay, Salesforce license is expensive, right? But Salesforce platform license is not that expensive. Let me explain the difference between Salesforce license and Salesforce platform license. Okay, if you talk about Salesforce license, you developed an application, right? You developed an application, um, and then now you want to sell that application to another company.
Okay.
So then you those people doesn't have to purchase the Salesforce license. Okay, they need to have a Salesforce platform license. Okay,
Okay.
so they may not be able to customize everything, but they should be able, they can use your application. Okay, like we have we have a something like, suppose we have a ticketing system, right? Like in a IT company, we have a help desk, right? We have a help desk
Yes.
system, right?
I know.
So
I
yeah,
know.
all the users doesn't need to have a Salesforce license. So there are 5,000 employees are there in a company. Okay, and then we don't need Salesforce license for all those 5,000 people, but we can have a platform license. Okay, which comes very
Okay.
cheap. Okay, maybe like $100 instead of $1,200. The Salesforce platform license comes for $100. So you develop application using Salesforce platform, and you purchase Salesforce platform license for 4,500 users or 5,000 users, and then you access to the platform license. Okay, so that is a platform license. Now what is Force.com license? See, Force.com license allows you to develop sites. Okay, so that means if you want to develop something public sites, okay, if you want to give access to public pages, okay, so then you need to have a Force.com license. Okay, so that, and also if you want to create a public page, or if you want to create a user who can use a Force.com platform, then you need to have a Force.com license. So what does that mean? If suppose if I am developing a web-based application, right? And then
Okay.
now first page comes in. The user doesn't have to log in at all. Okay, eh, then
Okay.
it doesn't need any post.com license. One license is enough for that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that is a guest access is guest license can be allowed. Okay.
Okay.
Suppose if that whoever is accessing that page may want to create a record. Okay, if you want to create a record in Salesforce, okay, then you need to have a then that particular user should be existing in Salesforce, right?
Okay.
Then in that case, he needs to have a force.com specific license for that. Okay. Suppose if I go
Okay.
and I should be able to log in, right? Obviously, it should allow me to log in. Then only I can create a record, right? Otherwise, system doesn't know who is accessing the system. So why do we
Okay.
need that? As a simple, we said that like whenever we create a record, who is going to be the owner of that record? The record is going to be owned by the record who is whoever is creating. So so if a public page, then you can give a guest force.com license. But if it is something user wants to create data, then they needs to have a um, then they need to have access to that particular system. So then we give a force.com license. So what is the difference between Salesforce platform license and force.com license, right? So you can say like if it is a publicly available and it is a website, why can't I do for the force.com? Why do I have to go to Salesforce platform? Because Force.com license is little cheaper compared to Salesforce.com platform license. So the difference between these two is Salesforce platform allows you to access Salesforce objects. Okay. But Force.com platform is not going to allow you to access it doesn't allow you to access more than 10 objects. Okay.
Okay.
More than 10 custom objects it won't allow. Okay, so that's how they control. The Salesforce got entire access. Salesforce platform got access restrictions for certain objects, and Force.com also have certain restrictions. So you can do more, more research on this user licenses, how it works.
Okay.
Okay. Mhm. And also we were talking about right now Salesforce subscriptions. So if you uh, go and see Salesforce subscriptions, Salesforce editions, so you go and this tells you like what I have, right? You can show if I want a service cloud, what is the pricing for service cloud? Okay, so $75 for this. If customizes $150, unlimited CRM power $300. So these are you get all of this because if you pay $300.
Okay.
Okay, so like that you have a community cloud license. So what do you get from community cloud license? How much you charge, like that. So it all they had made more and more complex now on this pricing model. So this is how you pay and use model is. Okay.
Okay.
So we talk about user licenses also. Okay. Did I miss anything? Fiscal year settings we'll talk about now. And okay, we have to talk about permission set, right? Which we
Okay.
know we talked about OWD. How do we set OWD for any object and why OWD is there,
Yeah.
right?
Organization wise.
Yeah. Now permission set. Okay, let's talk about these permission sets. Okay. So permission set, you have a profiles now, right? You have a profiles. Now you don't create too many profiles, okay? Because if you create too many profiles, suppose if you add a new field and too much maintenance is there, right?
Okay.
If you have a lot of profiles, you have to edit too many things. So to avoid that, so suppose in case if I want to have a um, a simple thing. So only one particular field, okay, I want to give access to that to only one specific user. Okay, I don't want to give access to everyone. Okay, but I want to give only so there is a case object. Okay, in that case object we have a survey module. Okay, survey is there. Say survey visibility I want to give to only one or three four special users. Okay,
Okay.
because they are doing some review on surveys and I want to give access to those users. I can't create a profile for them because again I have to maintain that profile. So like that there will be a multiple use cases where you have to create a profile for those users. So
Okay.
in order to avoid creating multiple profiles, what we have is a permission set. So we have a permission set. I go to permission set and I'm going to create a new permission set. Okay. And I'm going to create this permission set. Okay. And then what I do, see now already I created, same thing that I have created a permission set, account rating permission set. Okay. Now I go to that specific user. Okay. I go to that user. I click on that user and then uh, go to this customer support user, and now I go and create a edit permission set. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it's not allowing me right now, but at least I can go as, because this is a developer version, so it is not allowing us to do many lot of restrictions we have. So you can see, like,
Okay.
I can go and edit assignments, and I can play around. I can say
Okay.
no, whenever I want to give, I will give access and then save. Okay, whenever I don't want, I will remove that. Okay,
Okay.
so it is easy for me for maintenance purpose. I don't have to create a profiles, and I don't have to maintain so many things for that one specific things if I want to give. So that is like whatever your profile gives access to plus permission set access. Okay, so you can always remember that you can't close any of access, okay, by adding additional things.
Okay.
Okay, it's always you are opening up. Okay, so you say you have organization wide defaults, you open up with a role hierarchy, and you open up with criteria based sharings, and you open up with manual sharing. Same way with profiles, you have an access profile, and with permission set you can give you can open up more access, but you can't say, like, now using permission set I can't, I will make it read only. You can't do that. Okay,
Okay.
if profile is giving a read only, if you can make it with permission set, you can give write access. But if profile is giving write access and with permission set, you can't make it read only. You got the point, right? You're just
Yes.
opening up. Okay, so that is about the permission set. Now you understand, like, why we want a permission set. Okay, so
Yes.
and again, if you go to permission set, there are, in a permission set there are too many things right now. If in a permissions, you are, suppose if I go to account rating, I think I have to go this one. RE2E permission. Let me go here. E2E1. So now I can search for any, like, case object, like maybe a business hours, something like that. Let me search manage business hours, use business hours object setting. So I can so directly I can go to that particular object. Okay, so I don't have to
Okay.
go and click everything. So I can do use search mechanism here, so that you can simply look for the data. Hmm? Directly, you can search for any particular object or field, and then you go directly there, and you can do edit and can update the record. Okay, so
Okay.
that is all about today's
Permissions.
security data model. Okay,
Okay.
tomorrow we will be talking about um, tomorrow we'll talk about workflows, validation rules, how we are going to validate, what are the workflow rules, what are workflow actions, all that we'll talk about that tomorrow.